Hello, welcome to a new video of Dynasty War, and today we're going to talk about enhancing skill or not. And today we're going to talk about Heroine because she's the most recent hero that I awakened, so it's perfect to talk about her skill. And her skill is actually very strong. That's why I think we should upgrade her skill as soon as possible. But let's talk about her skill. What she does is increase her attack speed by a lot, extremely a lot, and then increasing her range by a lot as well. And then that it also buffs the damage of archer, bow cavalry, and dragon guards for 20 seconds. So before awakening, her skill, which means when you go up to 10 out of 10, give herself 200% attack speed. So her attack speed is at 1 right now. So 200%, which is whatever that is, probably like 0.3, something like that, 0.4. We have to do the math to see. But the range gives you 70%, so that will go up to her original range is 5 tiles, so 70% of that is it's 3.5, so her range goes up to 8.5, which is not very which cannot outrange Purgatory Tower or Magic Crossbow. And if you have the treasure that buffs your Thunder Formation's range, it might not she might not be able to outrange that, but I'm not sure about that. But basically, after you awaken her, you get 5 extra level, and that 5 extra level is very important because she's the type of hero that her own level, personal level, does not affect her skill level. So does not affect her skill. So her skill damage, her skill number, all of it depends on the skill level. So in order to improve her skill, you have to upgrade her skill from 10 out of 15 to 15 out of 15. As you can see, my heroine right now is 11 out of 15. So instead of 200 attack speed, it's 216. Range is still the same. Range is maxed out at 70%, so even at 15 out of 15 is still 70. The damage buff for Archer, Bow Cavalry, and Dragon Guard I think could go up to 140%. Right now it's 8%. So each level you go up in the extra level, it's 16% attack speed and 8% damage for the troops. And the awakening skill is also very, very strong. Increased duration of explosive damage by 2 seconds permanently. Basically, it could extend her skill once you awaken her. You get 2 extra seconds by awakening her, which goes up to 22 seconds. That's how long her skill will last right now. And each time you upgrade her awakening skill, you get 1 extra second permanently. So at the end, I think you will have a total of 26 seconds. So let's take a look in the Excel spreadsheet to see is it how worth it is it to upgrade her skill, and is it worth it? Okay, so right here, this is her skill attribute from 10 to 15. At 10, it's 200%, 70%, and 100%. 200% attack speed for herself, 70% range for herself, and 100% attack damage for the troops, for the 3 type of troops. So this is the same if you're 10 out of 10 or 10 out of 15. It doesn't matter if you awaken her or not. If you're at 10, this is what you have. Now, as I said, each time you upgrade the skill, you get 16% more attack speed, and you get 8% more for attack damage for the troops. So honestly, for herself, you're only getting this much. You're only getting more attack speed. The range, you're not really getting much because you don't get more. It stays the same. So is it really worth it to upgrade it? I think it is, because if you don't upgrade this attack speed, because her most basically what she is good for is the crazy attack speed that can do a lot of damage because she attacks really fast. And if you don't upgrade her skill, then there's no point in awakening her, because Archer hero, as I've mentioned a couple of times in previous video, getting the 10 extra level is not really that strong. They don't get high HP, they don't get high damage, like their own DPS and their own HP doesn't go up too high. So the 10 extra level does not give you too much extra damage. You really want to get these 5 extra level and upgrade her to 280% attack speed. Then then she'll become way stronger. 80% compared to the first 200% might not be that big of a difference. I will show you what the difference is in a little bit, but it is the only way to make her stronger, and it is very important. However, if you use other troops like archers, bow cavalry, and dragon guards, the difference in here will be way bigger, because these 40 extra percent out of the 100% extra is is very important. You can see the 40 extra percent difference. That's as it is. It means a 40% increase because the original is only 100%. So getting 40% extra damage for all the other troops that if you use them with her, it's very strong. Especially if you use 120 archers or bull cavalries for just looting anything, this damage buff will be so strong because each, right here at 10 out of 10, each troop is already worth double the damage. With this one, it's double plus some more troops damage. That's how strong each archer became. So that's a very important attribute to look at if you will use her with other troops. Now, if we take a look over here for the awakening skill, I listed at awaken level 1, you get 2 extra seconds. So at 5 out of 5, you get 6 seconds. And I show you the total time that her skill will last. And here the first percentage column tells you that the extra second is as a percentage of the original time. So 2 seconds out of 20 seconds will be 10% extra. 3 seconds out of 20 seconds will be 15% extra. So this is just to let you know, at the end, you basically get 30% more time from her skill. That's how useful it is, and I have talked about this in previous video. Most of the hero that their awakening skill has to do with increasing time or decreasing cooldown, things like that, is super powerful. Because time is the only thing that you really need in this game. You have a limited of time for each battle, and if you have crazy attack speed, time is like your best friend. You have more time, you have crazy attack speed, you do more damage in your whole skill. That's the whole thing. It's always time. If your skill lasts longer, you do more damage. If your cooldown is shorter, you do more damage as well. So obviously, all of the other attributes are important, like damage, range, and other stuff. But having the time in your favor is always strong. As you can see here, getting to 5 out of 5, basically you get 30% extra skill, of 30% extra time for your skill. So you can think of it as basically your damage output increased by 30% because you were there 30% more of the time. Now you can think of it that way, but obviously if you think of a more practical way, some of the time she might be walking, and some of the time she's just like half a second, 1 or 2 shots away from destroying that headquarter. So having the extra second will almost guarantee her finishing the job. But last row, this is the important thing that I want to show you. Now, mathematically, this is a very bad trade, and for all heroes, it's the same thing. If you level up their skill, their awakening skill is always not worth it at the very last level. Every level it gets more expensive and expensive, and this is where you can see it. If you awaken her, you get 10% extra time. However, each additional level, you basically get 4.5, you get 4-ish% more time. What this is this extra 1 second from 22 seconds, it's a 4.55 increase. And then this is a 4.35 increase. At the last level, it's only a 4% increase in time. Mathematically, her awakening skill and basically most other hero that has to do with time is really not worth it, mathematically saying. However, you can't just apply math to this game because time is really you want to have the most or least in some cases. So her awakening skill is so powerful that it's so important that even mathematically it's a very bad deal. You still have to upgrade it. However, I would say that I won't go for her awakening skill immediately because I think her main skill is more valuable, and the awakening skill is really for people who are going to perfect her, really want to get the most and the advantage out of her. And awakening skills such as these will give you the advantage. That 30% extra time, 26 seconds, is massive for her. And it is always worth to upgrade it, but I don't think it's always the first in this case because, well, at least you need to do her main skill first, and then you can do this. Okay, so right here I am going to calculate the attack speed of Heroine and show you what the difference is. So right here I'm just gonna put 300 DPS for right now. Attack speed, her time to attack is 1 that's listed in her info page. So let's put 200 here, 200%, and then let's put 216, and then 280. That's the last one. And we can see what's the final attack speed and how big of a difference it is. So, well, let's take a look at the new DPS, which basically, if it's 200% faster, that means 3 times the damage. So you do 900 damage per second, and the time to attack is 0.33, as I said earlier. I think it's 0.33. If you upgrade her skill once, it will be 0.32. Again, it's also 0.32 because I don't have the decimal here. But as you can see, the difference won't be too big until you get to this is, I think it goes by 16%, right? So it will go to 32. As you can see, each level you get like 0.0 something second per attack more, and at 15, which is 280%, you get 0.26 attack per 0.26 seconds to attack. That's the way that they list for you. It will take 0.26 seconds to attack one time, and her new DPS will be over 1,000, but it doesn't really matter. I guess it matters if she's shooting a hero, then basically 1 second she would attack like 3.8 times. Now I'm just saying that she has 300 DPS in general. If she has more, then obviously this can go up even higher. And as you can see, this can go really crazy, especially if you have some damage buff. Meaning, I mean, the easiest damage buff you can get is the treasure. I think it's 25%, and I think the treasure attack speed also adds on to this. So I think it's 25% as well, so you can go up to 305. Basically you take a quarter of a second to attack once, and you can attack 4 times, and in a second it's a crazy amount of damage. Now these buffs can go even higher if you have Sima Yi or some other buff as well. Hero Seal doesn't increase these by percentage, increase by number, so it will just increase by the raw output. But you can see the difference. It's not that big. You can argue it's not that big. It's only 0.07 of a second difference from 10 out of 10 and 15 out of 15. But it is much stronger if you just look at the DPS. It's 200. Basically, it's 2/3 of the original DPS. So I would say it's a significant increase that I will definitely level up her own skill first, and then I will do her her awakening skill, which it's also important, but at a later higher gameplay level. But this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.